Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is May 21st, 2021. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be May 21st, 2021. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. So check it out, man. I am coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. I am here in my beautiful Holiday Inn Express hotel room. That's right. I love me the Holiday Inn Express. And as I woke up this morning, I grabbed my hashtag Rise and Grind planner. I love these planners. Up at the very top of every single page, there is a quote submitted by an actual Rise and Grind member. And so I grabbed my hashtag Rise and Grind member and or my member. I grabbed my hashtag Rise and Grind member. I grabbed my hashtag Rise and Grind planner, and there was a quote from my dear friend, Mrs. Emily Galler. Now, Emily Galler has been a Rise and Grinder for a really long time. She's an incredible fan, an incredible supporter, and just someone that I really consider like a friend. She is always pushing me. She is always pushing me and reminding me of my big dream, my big vision, my big goal of getting Will Smith on hashtag Rise and Grind. Anytime I make a post, Emily will comment on it. She'll just comment, Will Smith, Will Smith, Will Smith. That's all it says. So she holds me accountable to that, and I love that. And she's always made an impact in my life. And this morning, here in the planner, right there at the top, she made an impact with these words. The quote that was in the planner says, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. When you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. As I read those words this morning, it absolutely lit me up. Immediately, it reminded me. It reminded me of a time where I was hanging out with Eric Thomas, the number one motivational speaker in the world, and we were here in Florida, and he was going from school to school. He was going from school to school, speaking to some middle school kids and some high school kids, and he was just going from school to school, pouring into them, right? Pouring into them as best he could. And in between each school or in between each speaking session, he would have we would have some time to chit chat, right? Some time to sit and talk. And here I am being a student. I'm a student. And so I want to learn as much as I can from the great Eric Thomas. And so I asked Eric a question. I said, Eric, what do you do? I said, I've been put in a situation where someone has asked me to keynote an event. They want me to speak at their event. However, that person, I don't necessarily align with that particular person. I don't necessarily agree with some of the things that they do. And I know that some of their circle and other people that will be sharing the stage at that particular event, I don't necessarily align with those people either. And so, what do you do, Eric, when somebody tries to hire you in an environment that doesn't necessarily align with you and your belief systems? And Eric Thomas, in all his wisdom, which the dude is super wise, by the way, Eric Thomas, in all his wisdom, he said, Glenn, sometimes we are called to be a light in dark rooms. And I thought about that. And he said, in a situation like what you're in, it's important that you go. And even though it's uncomfortable, and even though you don't necessarily align with those people, it's important that you go and put yourself in that uncomfortable situation so that you can be a light to those that are living in a dark world. He said, very important though. There's one very important aspect of this, Glenn. He said, when you are called to be a light in a dark room, you go alone. He said, you don't bring others with you. Because when you bring others with you, they might not be as strong as you are. And they might succumb to the darkness. And I thought, wow, wow, that is some powerful words of wisdom from a very, very, very wise man. Words of wisdom that I've applied in my life ever since and will continue to apply. And so as soon as I read that this morning, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine, it immediately took me back. So Emily, thank you for contributing that to the hashtag Rise and Grind Planner. I really appreciate you. What an incredible way to start my day. Listen, I'm coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, the great Holiday Inn Express. Come on, Holiday Inn Express. Give me a sponsorship, Holiday Inn Express. No, seriously, I love the Holiday Inn Express. I can stay at any hotel I want in Tampa, and I choose the Holiday Inn Express. I've got a couch, I got a separate room, I've got a microwave, I've got a refrigerator, I've got 3 TVs, I got all of that, and it's like on the cheap, and I don't even pay for it. I don't even pay for it. Literally, I can go anywhere I want, and I choose here. So, looking for that sponsorship someday. But listen, if you're in the Tampa area, let me know. We are going to be doing a meetup tomorrow afternoon at Whiskey Joe's, I believe is the name of the place. So if you are in the Tampa area, let me know. We're going to be meeting up there tomorrow. But I am here to spend some time with the amazing Furman Chevrolet crew. You want to talk about an evolution, a team of people that have evolved in such an incredible way. These guys and girls at Furman Chevrolet are ridiculous, man. This dealership is incredible. It's beautiful. The weather out here is awesome, right? Because we're in Tampa, Florida. But mostly what I've seen in the last 15 months that I've been working with this team is I've seen them come together in such a spectacular way that they've more than doubled their monthly sales here in the last 15 months. And it's all been a process of creating new systems, just like we've talked about all week, taking the time to create new systems, to look at things a little bit differently, to stay ahead of the curve. It's just been absolutely powerful. And so this week we've been talking about evolution here on hashtag Rise and Grind, and we've been talking about becoming completely reinvented, right? What's crazy is that Furman is a part of a very conservative group. Okay, Furman is a part of an incredibly conservative group, and the rest of the group, the rest of the group has not necessarily evolved at the level that this particular store has. They're very conservative. They've been very conservative during COVID for good reason. They want to keep people safe. They want to keep people protected. So how do you do that? How do you evolve when you're surrounded by like deep roots? How do you evolve when you're surrounded by deep traditions and deep belief systems? How do you really step into this idea of evolution, changing, creating new systems, letting go of old and moving into the new? How do you do that in an environment that doesn't necessarily support that? That's what I want to finish talking about today. That's how I want to wrap up today's series. Before we do, though, there's something we got to do on this show. You all know. Oh, why is that not playing? Okay. I don't know. There's something we got to do. We got to do some dancing on this show. Jay, listen, can you help me over on Clubhouse? Can you play some music so we can do some dancing? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Jay, listen's on mic now. If I can just get some music going over on Facebook, too, that would be awesome. Okay, it's playing. There we go. It's playing. I just can't see it. All right. This is one of those fun mornings. All right. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit, or maybe don't. Maybe don't share it today. But this is the part of the show where if you would, please go and hit that share button. If you're watching over on Facebook, if you're over on Clubhouse, this would be the part of the show where I would love it if you hit that plus sign and go ahead and invite some people into the room. That would be great. Also, if you're out there working out, you're going to step it up a little bit harder right now. Here's the time. If you're lifting some weights, put on a little bit more weight. If you were laying in bed, get your rear end out of bed. Listen, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. And this is the part of the show where we need to get in motion. Fair enough? Let's go. Get in motion. That's what I'm talking about. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on replay, say what's up, connect with me, I'll connect with you back. Like my man John Paul Gizzy, he says, I'm up. Okay, great, then let's go. I see Michelle Berger is up in here this morning. Mr. Rodney Rockcastle, Brad Smith, Don Sankey, Tom Popelka. We've got Angeline Moore and Kim Fair. We've got Barrett Trout, Marilyn Wilkin. We've got Melissa Trout. We've got Eileen Mitnick and Melvin Rodriguez. Amy Kenny is up in here this morning. Mr. Michael Guthrie, what's up? West Storm, Janice Mullins, Emily Gowler in the house. What's up, Jim Tursky? We've got Tina Bacon. We've got Will Ramsey, and of course, the one and Tisha White. Don't forget Liza Myers Borges. We've got Jalissa. Jalissa, you're still supposed to be playing music. If you're not, I see that you are muted now. We've got Liza. We've got Barbara. We've got Lynn David. We've got Dr. Janie. We've got Vernita's up in here this morning. We've got Jan and Justin and Molly and Douglas and Naida and Lewis and Monica. We've got Gregory and Jeannie and Big Mike and Rosemary. We've got Shannon and Coco and Kairu and Alan's up in here and Kyle. Oh my gosh, it is a packed house over on Clubhouse this morning. Unbelievable. I absolutely love it. I see Rob and I see LA. I see Lynn. I see Lucinia. I see Sean Weatherby. I see Tarika Simmons over there. I see Gail B. Crap. Mike, I already said Marilyn Wilkin. I see Tony Langdon. I see Julie Lentini. I see Ricky Everett, Sean Weatherby. We see Simona Weatherby, or Simona Holloway is up in the house this morning. I'm loving it. Packed house all the way across the board. Clubhouse as well as Facebook. Those of you on Clubhouse, if you want to come check us out, we are an official Glam Lundy. With that said, let's dive into today's series since we're running a few minutes behind of hashtag Rise and Grind. This week's series called Evolution has been really thought-provoking for me. I don't know about you. It's been really thought-provoking for me. I think it's been great. Can I say that? Can I say that about my own show? I think it's been a great series because it's really got me thinking about a lot of things. I mean, we started off this series talking about babies in the 20s being shipped in mailboxes. We ended yesterday talking about cryptocurrencies and creating new systems. And we also discussed what does life look like post this crazy thing called COVID, right? And so last week we also broke down the word evolution. We broke that down. And we took a good, hard look in the mirror. I know I did anyway. I don't know about you. You see, I've been getting up early, and I know you've been getting up early. I've been doing my morning 5, and I know a lot of you have been doing your morning 5. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of work. Like, it is a lot of work. The decisions you have to make the night before, the lifestyle that you have to live, the discipline that comes behind it, the mindset behind it, fighting through when you don't feel like it. Maybe you're a little under the weather. Maybe you stayed up a little bit later. Whatever it is, right? Like, it's work. Stuff is not easy, man. It is work. And so we've gotten up early, we've done our morning five, and we've put in a lot of work this last year and a half through this season. We survived this pandemic, right? We survived the shutdowns, we survived the pivots, we survived the shifts, we survived the changes. We worked our freaking tails off, dude, and we earned a break, don't you think? We've earned a break. And that's what I thought earlier this week. That was one of the thoughts that went through my head. It's like, dude, you've earned it, man. Golly, you've been working your freaking tail off. Let's go. You've earned a break. And I'm here to say to you, if you feel that same way this morning as I did, wrong. You are wrong and you are in danger. You are in a dangerous space. It is a dangerous space. I'm telling you, just on the other side of victory is the most dangerous space that you could possibly be, because you do start telling yourself that. You start telling yourself that, oh, it's okay. I can slack off a little bit. I've been working hard. I can go ahead and sleep in. I don't have to do the morning fives. I've been doing those plenty of times. That's old news. I ain't got to do it no more. I'm in a safe spot, right? And I'm telling you, danger, danger, danger. Listen, evolution is not a part-time sport. It's not. Evolution is not a part-time sport. Sorry, I'm lost in thought over here for just a second. I get like this sometimes on this show. For those of you that haven't watched me for a long time, sometimes I just am a deep thinker and I don't care about how polished and crisp and all those things that the show is. I just care that the message gets to you in the right way. That's what matters to me. And so when I say to you, evolution is not a part-time sport, I want you to understand that evolution is like an infinite cycle of intentional and purposeful growth. Write those words down. An infinite cycle of intentional and purposeful growth. And here's what I mean by that, okay? Here's what I mean by that. At my house, in Kentucky, we have a wall, which my kids chose, and it is the wall right there in the middle of the kitchen, which I'm sure my wife just loves, right? There is a wall that the kids will stand against, and they will mark their height. They will draw a line, they will put their age next to it at that time, they'll put their name. And so we have all these marks because we have 8 kids, and so there's all these marks all the way up the wall, right? And it shows, most recently my son Joel, he grew like 3 inches. He hit a growth spurt, right? And so he's grown a lot here in the last year, and he was really excited to see that big gap on the wall from the line just a year ago and the line now, and he was really excited about that. But let's be honest, he didn't really contribute to that growth. Like, he didn't do anything to earn that, right? Like, he didn't have to put in any work. I mean, yeah, sure, he had to eat some food. He had to sustain life, but he didn't do anything to grow taller. Ultimately, he was born with a certain genetic code, a certain seed that was placed in him, and that seed will most likely determine how tall he ends up being, right? I mean, there could be things in life that could maybe happen that could cause him to be shorter or taller for whatever reason. But for the most part, what he was born with, without any intention or purpose on his side, is ultimately going to determine how tall that he gets. You see, that's not the type of growth that I'm talking about. That's part-time stuff. What I need you to understand is that real evolution takes intentional and purposeful growth. And let me give you an example of that. Yesterday, my son, same son that I was just referring to, yesterday he was playing baseball and there was a foul tip. and he was playing the catcher position, and he flinched. And as he flinched, he exposed his rib cage, and that foul tip went directly into my man's rib cage. And he cried, and he was hurt badly, and he wanted to quit. He wanted to quit. And I felt awful because I was down here while my boy was experiencing this, right? But he wanted to quit. But here's the thing, he didn't. He didn't quit. He went off to the side. He cried for a while. He got himself an ice pack. And then he got out there when it was his turn to get up to bat. And he went out there and he faced a pitch, right? This is his first year in like real kid pitch baseball. Up until now, he's played coach pitch and T-ball. This is his first year. So after getting hit with the ball in the ribs, he goes up there and he stands and he exposed that rib to a kid pitcher who's throwing balls in there at 30 miles an hour, right? And he stood in there and he got on base and he got to second base and he got to third base and he scored his first run ever in kid pitch baseball. Now, see, that is intentional growth. And here's what I mean by that. My son chose to be out there. My son chose to be in that catcher position. My son chose to keep going even though it hurt and even though he didn't want to, even though he didn't feel like it, even though he was experiencing pain unlike any he had ever experienced in his life, right? He still chose to go out there and do it. It was a choice. It was his choice. Now, see, that's the difference between intentional and purposeful growth and part-time evolution. Intentional and purposeful evolution comes down to that one word, choice. See, the Bible says this about the word choice. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 30:19, the Bible says, "Today I have given you the choice between life and death, between blessing and curses. Now I call on heaven and earth to witness the choice you make. Oh, that you would choose life so that your descendants might live." Strong, powerful verse. Your descendants, those that come after you, that's what evolution's all about. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about those that come after you. Last night I was in a room. I created a room on Clubhouse. I created a room and I titled it, "Who is God?" Who is God? And then I think the second part of the title said something like, Is God real? Who is God? Is God real? And then it said, no judging, just open conversations. And it was an incredible room. It was an incredible room. I'm just letting y'all know. And in that room, there was a gentleman. And this gentleman spoke about how his dad was abusive and violent, how his dad used to beat him when he was young. And he spoke of this whole experience. And then he said this. His name's Core Element. That's what he goes by on Clubhouse. And he said this. He said, "I realized my father was a victim of a genetic curse passed down through slavery." Are y'all with me on this? It gives me goosebumps even as I read it. He said, "I realized my father was a victim of a genetic curse passed down through slavery." And then he said this. This is what he said after that. He said, that curse stops here. that curse stops here. You see, he chose. He made a choice. He chose, and now because of his decision, every single generation after him will now be affected by his single solitary choice that this curse stops here. So what about you? What choice will you make today? What choice will you make today that is ultimately going to impact all that come after you? You see, will you choose life or will you choose death? Will you choose to be a light or will you choose to be dark? Will you choose to be remembered or will you choose to be forgotten? It's a choice. We're all spinning around on this big old marble in the sky. And there are so many things that are out of our control, so many things that are going to happen whether we choose or not. But when it comes to your legacy and the impact that you are going to make on your descendants, those that come behind you, those that come after you, those that will ultimately be the recipients of your evolutionary process, when it comes to them with purpose and intentionality, what do you choose? That's how I want to end this series this week. That's the question I want you to ponder on. I understand celebrating our victories, don't get me wrong. I understand that every once in a while we need a little reflection and every once in a while we need a little vacation. I'm not saying that you should just be working yourself to death or running 900 miles an hour nonstop. I'm not saying any of those things. I am saying to you this. Are you being intentional and purposeful? And do you understand that evolution is a full-time sport? It is not a part-time. This is not a part-time job. It takes intentionality and it takes purpose, and your decision to take it seriously matters. It matters. The decisions you make today, they make an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers. Heck, you showing up right here on hashtag Rise and Grind this morning has made an impact on me. And I, for one, absolutely stinking love you for it. I do. If nobody's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you because you are, I believe, my sister and my brother in Christ. I believe that you are a child of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you to be the absolute best version of yourself you can possibly be. Not a average version, not a little bit above average, not a just going through the motions version, but an intentional and purposeful best version of yourself that you can possibly be. So listen, I love you where you are, and I love you for who you are. And I challenge you to continue to dive into this evolutionary process because I need you, the world needs you, we need you. Fair enough? Fair enough. Let's go. Listen, if you need more videos like this, you can go to glennlundy.com. If you want to hang out over on Clubhouse and talk about this a little bit more, you can do so. I'll be hanging out over there for a little while this morning before I head over to Furman to dive in with those folks. And so feel free to hang out over on Clubhouse or meet us over on Clubhouse. You can hang out where you're at. You can have an amazing, powerful weekend. If you're in the Tampa area, make sure you let me know. We're going to be meeting up tomorrow afternoon, which will be super cool. I'd love to meet some of you. So if you're in the Tampa area, let me know on that. And otherwise, I'm going to let y'all out of here. Let you Facebook peeps out of here. And I'll see you on Monday at 5:30 a.m. as we do this all over again on hashtag Rise and Grind. All right. See you. Take care.
Hashtag Rise and Grind.